Don't get spooked out by having to write content or hire ghostwriters. Here at PLR.me, we've got a cauldron full of content resources just for you. Hey guys, it's Richard Butler, Director of Education here at PLR.me. And you've probably guessed from the corny intro there that it's the last 2 weeks of October. And of course, the last holiday that we're going to have in October is Halloween. So here's a little challenge for you. Watch the video through and count how many times there's a corny Halloween joke. And do you know what we're going to do? We're going to select one person at random and we're going to give them 10 free credits. How's about that? Just leave your guess in the description, and for everyone who puts in a guess, it doesn't have to be right. We're going to put you all into a witch's hat and we're going to draw out a winner. So let's get serious, because we've got a lot of work to do and there's so much content that I want to show you in this video. What? You've never seen one of my content videos? Where have you been? You see, here at PLR.me, we've created a content calendar where we not only tell you what holidays there are in that month, but we also have selected engaging content that you can use with your tribe. Now, there's something even better here. All of this content is done for you. What do I mean? Done for you? What's that? Well, we've had all of the content professionally written specifically for coaches, counselors, teachers, speakers, etc., who are trying to help people within the field of self-development. Now, the link for the October calendar for the first 2 weeks and for this video are in the description below. In this video, I'm going to focus on a few of the key holidays that are coming up in October. One of them is World Food Day, Bosses Day, National Clean Out Your Virtual Desktop Day, and of course, Halloween. So, without further ado, I'm going to go over to the computer and I'm going to show you some of the resources for the holidays that are coming up. I know, there's one reference, there's an extra reference for you. Let's start. October 16th is World Food Day. And I have to say, food is something that I love. And here in Barcelona, we take food very seriously. Did you know that a lunch can go on for 2, 3, or 4 hours? Sometimes I have been having lunch in my in-laws and we've gone from lunch straight to dinner because we've been sitting at the table so long. So we love our food. And today you can celebrate food. So one idea would be to talk to your tribe and ask them what are their favorite recipes from their parents or their grandparents or from a country that they visited. Everybody has a favorite recipe and everybody knows one exotic dish. For me, it would have to be Irish stew. Now, what can you do with this? Well, you could have a competition where you ask people to submit the recipe and how to make it. And then you ask others to make the recipe and present it, taking photographs. If you really want to have a bit of fun, you could actually record yourself making the recipe and actually eating it. No, I'm not going to make an Irish stew just in case you're thinking of asking. That won't happen. But you know, one of the problems with all of this great food, it's eating correctly. Now, have you ever thought about creating a course? Maybe not, because you say, Richard, it's too difficult. But let me tell you, here at PLR.me, we've got you covered and we have a course which is ideal for today, which is called Lose Weight, Cutting Calories Easy, Diet and Nutrition course. And we provide everything that you need to actually create this course. And all you have to do is record the course. But Richard, I can't record a course. How can I do that? Okay, I know it's a question, but you know what? I've got you covered on that as well. In our training section, and you'll see a link in the description, we actually have a series of videos where I actually show you how I used PLR.me content to devise the course and how I filmed it and edited it in one weekend, put it up online and got over 1,000 students enrolled in the course. Now, I have about 5 courses up at the moment on Udemy. I haven't done anything in quite some time, but I have 15,000 students enrolled. So that's a huge market that you could tap into, and it's not as difficult as you think. I don't know about you, but I know in Ireland that it was traditional on a Friday to eat fish. But did you know that we have an article called The Rules of Eating Fish? The Rules of Eating Fish? Seriously? I couldn't believe it myself, but we actually have an article and there are rules for eating fish. Now, this could be an amazing article to engage people. Why? Because if you post something like, do you know these top 5 rules of eating fish? that's like a pattern interrupt that people are going to say, huh, there's rules to eating fish? Huh? What's this guy talking about? I need to click on this link. And that could link to a PDF download or an article on your blog where you could get people to sign up for an introductory course to nutrition or to health. So a very, very good resource that you can definitely use today. Another great resource for today is our healthy shopping list. Again, you could brand this, give it as a PDF, and then as people print it out and use it and show friends, they're actually seeing all of your contact information. And the final resource I want to show you today is the reflection: proper nutrition keeps my body in excellent order. Now, our bodies, as you know, are like cars. And if you have a lovely car, you don't put a cheap fuel into it because you know it'll do damage to the motor. So why do we do it with our bodies? So again, we could talk about nutrition and how nutrition affects our body, and how if we eat badly, it's going to make us more lethargic. We won't be able to sleep as well. We'll probably even be a little bit cranky or annoyed. And we don't want that, do we? Because there's enough bad spirits around this month. Yeah, there's another one for you, okay? Speaking about bad spirits, October 16th is Bosses Day. Now, I'm sure you've had some brilliant bosses as well as some bad bosses, and I certainly know that I've had a couple. The first resource I want to show you today is a fable called The Boss Office. Fables are a great way to do a Facebook Live or to do a podcast because you're just telling a story. And, you know, telling stories is nice, and you're not sort of lecturing me, are you? You're not saying anything wrong. You're not giving out to me, are you? Yes, I am. Or yes, you could be. So with stories, psychologically, when somebody hears a story, their defenses go down and they think it's only a story. And all of our fables are specifically written to have a very good moral to them. So you could use this fable, you could add to it, thinking about bosses that you've had. And you know what? You could actually open up a discussion on Facebook of, tell me 5 good things about your previous boss, or 5 things that you didn't like about your boss. This moves nicely into our next resource, which is 7 Daily Habits of Outstanding Leaders Checklist. This could be a 7-part email that people sign up for, where you send them one habit over 7 days. And everybody wants to know what a good habit is of an outstanding leader. Now, what happens if a person doesn't have leadership skills? Well, you got it. We've got you covered on this. Our next resource is how to develop leadership skills. Now, I believe everybody needs to know how to develop their leadership skills, because a lot of the times in business, what happens is Mary becomes the manager because she's been working in the department the longest, and it's only fair. Now, Mary may have no management skills, but maybe she could be taught them. You could offer this as an in-company seminar or a pre-recorded webinar that businesses could pay you to deliver so that they can actually improve the leadership skills of their management. And I think, depending on how you sell this, any company who wants to progress in the market will definitely want to produce better leaders. This next resource that we have, I'm a Strong Leader, is a great affirmation reflection that you could give out at the end of one of your in-company webinars or seminars. Or again, you could record this as a podcast that people can listen to and reflect on. There's a lot of opportunities for this. You could again finish this day. I started with the fable. You could either start the day with the fable or end with the fable, or you could again ask people for funny stories about their previous bosses. And make this day an enjoyable day, but also with that interesting slant of talking about leadership. And that's our final resource for International Bosses Day. Oh, sorry, just one moment. Hello? Yeah, okay. Yeah, are you serious? Okay, I'm just in the middle of the video, so I'll actually tell them about that. You're not going to believe this, but the actual content writers rang me there to tell me they've actually been hard at work, and they wanted to make sure that I mentioned this to you, but we actually have a new set of resources called the Dynamic Leader. And you'll see them here on screen, and you see that we have the Dynamic Leader worksheet, we have a slide deck presentation, we have a report, and we have an action guide. So these are literally hot off the press right at this moment. So those would be something that you could grab, and you could be first to market with this particular content. Can I tell you a secret? If you're like me, you will have a cluttered virtual desktop. You know, because I kind of look at my desktop and I say, well, if I'm looking for something, if I save it on my desktop, I can get access to it quicker. Does it actually mean that I can actually access things quicker? Why? Simply because my desktop is cluttered and I can't find what I'm looking for. And it takes me longer to find it rather than if I had it organized. Monday the 22nd is National Clean Out Your Virtual Desktop Day. So today, while we talk about decluttering your virtual desktop, we can talk about decluttering in general. So the first resource that we have is how to organize and declutter in small steps. Now, my wife, amazing woman, but if she really wants to stress me, she says, come on, Richard, we need to start decluttering the house. And living in Barcelona, we live in a small apartment, so I cannot accumulate and collect as much as I would like. In other words, I kind of hoard things a little bit. So decluttering in small steps makes life a lot easier. So along with decluttering, we often see about simplifying our life. And what about 15 hacks to simplify your life? Now, if you're thinking the way I'm thinking, what you could actually do is you could do a 15-day challenge where you give people one challenge a day in order to simplify their life. And this could be done in your Facebook group, or it could be done over 15 days on a Facebook Live or via email or your website. But think about how you can challenge people to make their life simpler, because I really do think with technology, and we'll talk about that in our next holiday. In these videos, I always want to try and help you link back holidays. So the next resource that I've picked out for you is ideal to link it back to maybe Boss's Day, which was on the 16th. And it's called 25 Office Organizational Strategies. So this would be an ideal way to link it back to Boss's Day and say, well, as a good boss, you can be more organized in the office and you can help organize the office, and this will help people. So the last resource we have for today, or you could use it as the first resource if you wanted, is the Cluttered Desk Fable. This is a really interesting fable, and again, like I said, fables make people relax because you're just telling me a story, Richard. But as I told you before, no, I'm not. I'm actually giving you a piece of advice. But since it's a fable, it's okay. So end the day or start the day on this and, help people understand why they need to declutter. The 29th of October is somebody's birthday. And whose birthday is it? It's the internet's birthday. Well, I don't know if it's the actual internet's birthday, but it is Internet Day. And this is a really important and interesting holiday. So the problem with the internet is that everything is now text message. Everything is Instagram, Facebook. People are showing off how great their lives are, but sometimes their lives aren't that great. And sometimes there's a tendency for relationships to suffer because of this. And I mean that people go looking for love elsewhere and they find it over the internet. So our first resource that we have here is called Love, Trust and Snooping. It's one of those things that when somebody goes near a mobile phone and they see a message or they see some sort of communication, it can break up a relationship. So this article talks about that. Now you could definitely expand this by talking more about relationships and relationship issues that people may have. And on another aspect of relationships, we also have this resource, how to handle the interference of technology in your relationship, because in all relationships, technology is interfering. Yesterday, I was walking down the street in Barcelona and I saw, I think it was 5 people were having lunch outside and not one of them was talking to anyone else. Well, they were, but they were all on their mobile phones texting. And you think, it doesn't make sense. They're out for a social occasion and they're being social by not being social. You get what I mean? It's just, it doesn't make sense, does it? Now, the other thing is that with text messages, oh, sorry, there's just something coming up here on screen. Sorry about that. But with text messages, it causes us more stress. Why? Because we hear that WhatsApp beep, we hear a Facebook Messenger, we hear an email coming in, and we feel we have to react. We have to answer it. But no, we don't. But that causes us, or can cause us, stress. So this resource is ideal to share no matter what type of professional you are, because it's going to really resonate with people, because they will find that they can actually reduce their stress using these tips that you have provided. And that can lead them to contact you to discuss how to eliminate or how to control stress in their lives. And we're more disconnected rather than connected, really, when you think about it with all this technology. But this particular resource here, 5 ways to find inner balance in a hyper-connected world, could be an excellent starting point to get people to come and visit you in order to find out how to disconnect, how to declutter. You could bring back the whole idea of declutter, how to meditate, and how to really start to live their life and disconnect a little bit. Now, as you can see, by starting on the topic of the internet, you can branch out into so many different areas. And finally, folks, we have a fantastic, spooktacular holiday coming up. I think that's it for the Halloween puns, but keep watching just in case I throw in one more. So, October 31st, Halloween. If you have kids, they will love this holiday. But of course, Halloween can be expensive. Why? Because costumes are pretty expensive these days, but there are some tips that we have for you. And we have these two resources here that you can give out to parents or to family members. Our first one is called Money Matters Halloween Savings. So this deals with how to save money at Halloween, and specifically talking about costumes. We also have Frugal Living Tips of the Month, Halloween costumes. Yep, I might just have to get my sewing kit out for my costume, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. Speaking about saving money, did you ever think that you could actually make money over Halloween? Well, we do have an income booster here, talking about setting up a cotton candy business. Maybe if you're a tribe or the entrepreneurial type, you could actually set a challenge for people to come up with a business plan for their cotton candy business. And then you could run a competition and again have a winner for the most spooktacular plan that somebody comes up with. There's another one. And speaking of cotton candy, one of the major problems with Halloween is the amount of candy that people are given. I know my daughter, my nephew, they come back with bags of candy. And that candy disappears overnight sometimes, or at least gets reduced. So we do have a resource here, which parents will love, but kids mightn't like it so much, but it is called Healthy Alternatives to Halloween Candy That Your Kids Will Love. I'm thinking chocolate Brussels sprouts. I would like that. Yeah, I'm a little bit strange, but I actually like Brussels sprouts. I haven't yet tried chocolate Brussels sprouts, but I might just give it a try. So that basically wraps up the last 2 weeks of October. As you can see, there were a number of holidays, and I've given you some good ideas for creating some spooktacular content without having to hire a ghost writer, and which will also engage your audience. Are you still counting? And if you're not yet a member of PLR.me, why not? You see the content that we have, you got to join. And we want you to join for free, and we will actually give you 2 free credits every single month so that you can download some of our content. So all you need to do is just click on the link, which of course is in the description. It's also on screen right now. And go to our site, fill in your name, fill in your email address. We'll set up your account and we'll give you 2 free credits. Now remember, I'm here every month letting you know what holidays are coming up in that particular month and what content you can actually use, and helping you with ideas on how you can actually use that content. Well, I did want to end with one last Halloween reference, but you know what? I think I've used them all up. So if you've watched this far, well done. Let us know below how many Halloween references I made throughout the video, and we'll put all the names into the draw and we'll pick one person out to give them an account with 10 free credits. I'll talk to you next month.